Now, I believe, myself, that the Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, and you have to make your own decision as to what the President knows, that this war is lost.
What is the job before us in 1944? First, to win the war.
This war is lost.
Because they needed the votes.
To win it fast.
This war is lost.
Because they needed the votes.
To win it overwhelmingly.
This war is lost.
Because they needed the votes.
And just wanted to see if you were checking in on your medication too. I love you, and I'm concerned. Take care, honey. I know you're under a lot of pressure. See ya.
I call upon Chairman Khrushchev to halt and eliminate this clandestine, reckless, and provocative threat to world peace and the stable relations between our two nations.
This war is lost.
Because they needed the votes.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
This war is lost.
Why would the Democrats put that kind of money in such a serious bill?
Because they needed the votes.
This war is lost.
So they went into houses and they actually killed civilians.
This war is lost.
Because they needed the votes.
We can never be tolerating torture but for 9/11.
This war is lost.
Because they needed the votes.
We on this side are interested in protecting American servicemen from the crossfire of a civil war. Some on the other side are more interested in protecting the president from a rebuke for his policy of escalation in Iraq.
This war is lost.
Because they needed the votes.
I know that Congress has low approval ratings. I don't approve of Congress because we haven't done anything, we haven't been effective in ending the war in Iraq. And if you ask me in a phone call, as ardent a Democrat as I am, I would disapprove of Congress as well.
I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course. I believe that the issues confronting us cross party lines.
You're going to tell us lies like you're telling us today? Is that how you're going to fund the war? You don't have money to fund the war or children, but you're going to spend it to blow up innocent people if we could get enough kids to grow old enough for you to send to Iraq to get their heads blown off for the president's amusement.
It is a very disturbing development when the political leadership in this country is literally pulling the rug out from underneath our troops.
This war is lost.
Because they needed the votes.
Congresswoman Indiana Ross Lightman suggested we telephone some constituents whose 3 sons are serving in Iraq.
Call up Hugo Parsons and Phyllis Parsons and say, oh, I support that Charlie and Bill and Hugo, and by the way,
This war is lost.
Because when they argued for torture, they said, well, if you knew that somebody could stop a bomb and torture them, would you go for it then? Because remember 9/11, right? And we never have all these conspiracies to finally see what's good for you. And with a sad heart, I say bye to you and wait. Kicking shadows on the street for every mistake that I have made. And like a baby.
Excuse me, can I ask you about your sign?
Yes, sir.
So I see your sign says Hitler 1939, Bush 2003.
Yes, sir.
Are you worried that that comparison might, turn some people off that otherwise might support your cause?
I don't see why it would turn anyone off. Both men started an illegitimate war for power and power and money.
Right.
And both men are behaving almost identically. I understand that there's a big issue of genocide, which basically, if you're not a Kurd in Iraq, you're against America, so there's your genocide. It's basically the same deal.
Do you think the fact that you can protest here peacefully today makes the situation different than Germany was back before World War II? Because he wouldn't have allowed this kind of freedom of speech.
Right. For right now, yes. But George Bush is working on that every day. He's in power.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no war.